It's a system that TNA is known for, and like I said, they're known for dragging stuff out when it comes to heel factions, to where they're gonna run roughshod for months on end. But what's gonna happen is, look at the emotion that you just displayed, that you're frustrated and that you thought something was gonna happen right then and there. This is what's gonna happen. The system's gonna run roughshod all the way until October. And what's in October, Mark? What's in October, Matt? Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is gonna happen, and then the system is gonna have their just due. And then all the baby faces are gonna beat them, all the heels are gonna lose their title. This is a system that TNA has been on, that has displayed over the last decade. When it has come to uh, Aces of Eights, when it has come to Main Event Mafia, when it has come to the heel LAX, all the heel factions get their just due and Bound for Glory. And I wish this was a system that would change with the new ownership. But what we're seeing, Matt, and Matt can attest to this, what we're seeing is it's a lot of politicking going on backstage with the guys that have been there for years. And they're politicking to hold their spot until Bound for Glory, where it makes sense for, oh, now it makes sense for me to lose my title. Oh, now it makes sense for me to lose my spot. Oh, now it makes sense for the babyface to win. It's 2024. You need to mix it up because you got so much wrestling on there right now. I'll attest to Game Changer. You got Game Changer out there putting on a lot of big time shows, a lot of big time star studded like upsets that keeping people invested on the internet, to where you, on a Friday, you're not gonna want to tune in to TNA. You're gonna want to tune in to Triller TV and watch Game Changer. That's what I'm saying. It's too much wrestling going on for you to be stagnant and stuck in your old ways, in your old booking element, to where you think that the fans are gonna still be there. That's why that's what you're seeing going on right now.
I mean, when they were here in Las Vegas when Moose took on Nick,
Mhm.
they did this massive publicity tour around the city. I mean, they were all over the base. They were at the baseball games. They were, going to all the media outlets they could possibly hit. And then Moose still held on to the title. I mean, Moose and Nick were everywhere. And, I was just really surprised that they didn't do a title change that night. I don't know. It was, I mean, I like TNA. I think they have a lot of great talent there, but just really surprised at the booking. So,
I think NJ makes a very good point in terms of eventually you're just going to lose more people. At some point people are like, I'm tired of waiting for the payoff to the storyline. I'm sick of the system. I'm sick of the formulaic storylines that TNA does every year. There's so much wrestling on every night of the week. So many different companies vying for your eyeballs. At this point, we're in an era where if the wrestling company doesn't give you what you want, there's another wrestling company that will.
Yes.
And you can't just rest in your laurels and like, oh yeah, we're TNA. We've been around for 2 decades and everything's going to be okay. You need to strike while the iron is hot. And you need to make sure that you're keeping the future of your company happy. So when their contracts come up, like the Motor City Machine Guns did earlier this year, that they don't say, bet I'm out. And we're probably going to see them on AEW programming at some point this summer. Like, you don't want to lose Joe Hendry. You don't want to lose Josh Alexander. You don't want to lose the future of your company. You don't want to lose Jordan Grace, but newsflash, she's WWE bound as soon as her deal's up. There's no way she's not going to WWE. She's gone. She's as good as gone. TNA needs to shift, and they need to shift as soon as Slammiversary. And I will give out a minor spoiler from the tapings last night. The main event of Slammiversary is a 6-man elimination match for the TNA World Championship with Moose and 5 other competitors. They have a chance to right the ship at Slammiversary. Make the move then. Don't wait until October, because by October it could be too late.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting when you guys are talking about moving forward, and you've got to keep this thing rolling. You've got to keep that ball pushing forward constantly. And the stagnation, we've seen it in so many companies. We're seeing all this stuff about WCW, for example, and think back about how they stagnated and fell into the NWO, and everybody just kept, no, we're going to NWO it until it dies, and well, you killed your company because of it, partially. Which there's a fight going on right now. We're discussing this after 24 years, but think about that.
Well, hey, it's a big topic of conversation right now with the show out right now, so it's perfectly acceptable conversation right now.
Yeah, but TNA could put themselves in a position where somebody else could step in. There's another promoter out there that could take either.
I mean, Scott
do what
D'Amore
they're
tried
doing.
to buy the company.
He did.
From
I give him
Anthem
that.
before they booted him, and the problem is like D'Amore can't even go work for like AEW or WWE right now because he's on some kind of non-compete. He's basically sitting at home for the next year, collecting a paycheck from Anthem instead of using his mind to let them steer the ship back in the right direction, which he was doing with this company last year.
Right. I mean, the reaction in Las Vegas in January as opposed to April was very different. It was very different.
I'm not surprised.
Bigger crowd in January. And and I'm sure that having Osprey and Okada there didn't hurt. But but that was the forward thinking. And it's amazing to me a lot of times that since I've really gotten into observing the wrestling business a lot tighter, is that so many people just are happy being where they're at, as opposed to wanting to push forward and wanting to get better and saying, well, what, I'm okay with my little patch. And the problem is that somebody else out there is gonna move past you.
Yeah, that's the same problem with the NWA. Billy Corgan is very happy with his little niche product and his little niche company and his little niche fans. He does not want to change. He does not want to evolve the product in any way, shape, or form. And he's happy just hemorrhaging money for the company because he's putting on the wrestling product from the early 80s that he wants to see. But it's not doing him any good. He's not making any new fans. No one cares about the NWA. And if TNA doesn't right their ship sooner rather than later, they're going to be in a similar situation to what the NWA is going through right now. And that's a damn shame because honestly, TNA as a company deserves a lot more than that.